Now I'm going to talk to you about something that I learned from Hattie's book. It's Visible Learning and the Science of How People Learn. And this is really something I loved when I saw it. I really think it's great. I call it the 3 in 24 principle. I can't remember what he calls it, but basically what we're talking about is when your students learn something the first time, within the first 24 hours, they need to cover it 3 times. So they learnt it once in class, that's their first exposure, and hopefully you've done a good job during class and they've been exposed to it and they've used it and they've taken a lot of that in. You then want them to go home and be exposed to it again. So they need to maybe put up their mind map and go over it. Maybe they need to go through their flashcards that they created. Or maybe it's as simple as pulling out that summary book and reading through it again, or going back over that section of the textbook. Or maybe you're going to give them a past HSC question that you want them to answer based on that content, and then bring it into class for you the next day. So that's then twice in 24 hours. The third time needs to be after they've had a sleep. So 3 in 24 hours, so 2 in the same kind of day, have a sleep to help your brain really process it and store it away and work out how it's going to do everything. And then in the morning, before they come to school, or maybe first thing at school, you want them to go over it again. Okay, so maybe in the morning they're going to read back over that past HSC exam question and just check it themselves and match it against the criteria and check against their summaries that they've got everything in there that they needed. And maybe they're going to give themselves some feedback or suggest a mark that they're going to be given based on their own kind of system going over that. And that then is the third time they're going to be exposed in that first 24 hours. And that increases their ability to learn and to remember it later quite a lot. And so you're looking essentially at helping your students to go from, I learned it one day, and in the first 24 hours of learning it, I've been exposed to it 3 times. And that means that 1 week later, 2 weeks later, a month later, they're more likely to recall more of it than if you just did it once in class, waited a week, or even the next day, they went over it, and then not again until towards the end of their getting ready for their exams. You need to make sure that that's actually a lot faster, that going over things. So learn it once, do it 3 times in 24 hours, and then maybe do it again next week, and again 2 weeks later, a month later. Have them constantly just being refreshed in what they're learning throughout. But that 3 in 24 principle at the beginning really gives them a good kickstart into making sure that they're well prepped when it comes to those longer term applications of what they've learnt.